Have a look at that. Boom. Hello everyone, welcome to Marky Big Smoke. Thanks very much for joining me. Today I'm just going to give you a quick update on my basil seeds and how they're getting on. I planted them at the beginning of April and now they've grown into seedlings and it's about time I potted them onto bigger pots. Let's get started. Right guys, so I've got my compost bins and I've been making this compost for over a year, and I alternate between the two bins. The one on this side is nearly empty, the one on that side is just developing really, so cat's found a ball. Never. What's this? What's that? Just have a quick look in there. Nearly empty. That was full up to the top with compost at the beginning of the spring. I'm going to try and get a few more pots out of this so I can pot on my basil plants, which I grew from seed. I've got a few more buckets I can get out of this, I'm sure. I didn't want to go down to the bottom because there's probably worms in the bottom. It's not bad compost, it's a bit of a mishmash of everything from my garden: twigs, branches, compostable food, raw sort of vegetables, eggshells. I've got loads of eggshells in here. So let's get that right close to there. See if I can fill this up. I've got my tray of basil seedlings, which I've planted from seed, and this is long overdue. These seedlings need potting on into a bigger pot so they can bush out and grow into individual plants. Right, first of all, let's get some of this compost on the tray. See, I've got all sorts in here, bits of wood, twigs, branches, loads of eggshells. Any worms I find is going to go over in the, and any rocks over in the raised bed. First thing I'm going to do, what you should do really, is clean out all these pots, but I'm just going to make sure there's no snails or anything stuck to the pots. Any twigs can go back in the garden to naturally degrade down. What I had this year was these tiny little grow bags. These are biodegradable. They can actually go straight into the pot as they are. You can see the roots are starting to, can you see the roots there starting to come through that? So that can literally go straight into the bottom of there. And then I'm going to fill soil around it. Got a snail in there, well, not a live one. Okay, and that's one potted on. Only another 30 to go, and now it's a scramble to try and find big enough pots. Bring you back when I've done all these. Here we are everyone, over 40 individual basil or basil, potato, patata plants potted on from seed, from seedlings into larger pots. Now some of these are in really big pots and I put a couple in. Others are in medium-sized pots and I put one in. I'm going to see how they do. Usually the plants, I'm no expert mind you, usually what the plants do is they grow roughly according to the size of the pot. So I'm expecting the bigger pots for them to take off. The smaller pots I'm expecting to stay in a small sized little tiny plant. Now I got this one, this basil plant from indoors, and this was the one, it needs a bit of water actually. This is the one I bought from the shop about a week or so ago. I pinched out the tips and then I bushed it out a bit and the leaves came on really well, and then yesterday I used it to make a pesto sauce. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim that back, pinch out the tips again and try and make it bush out a bit, give it some water. So I'm going to push that there, and do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut right down at these tall stems just as an experiment to see. Usually if you cut out just below or just above a leaf node where some leaves are already growing, like there, don't chuck away your shop bought basil. Pinch it back, take it down to a leaf node, give it plenty of water, and it should start to bush out again. It should last the rest of the season, which is the summer season. There you go. Expert tip from a total novice. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little update on my gardening project, how to pot on basil seedlings. If you did, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you again soon on Marky Big Smoke. Cheers, folks.